large
it's not
number.
your field, PZ, but what Trump has done to climate science is horrible. There's over 100 laws and regulations that he's rolled back, environmental regulations that he's rolled back. He took us out of Paris, which I could talk about that. It doesn't matter. But I mean, he is clearly in the pocket of big oil and is doing everything he can to chip away at the progress we've made toward fighting climate change and toward just making our just country a healthier place. He has done so much, and I'm afraid that's my biggest fear for him to be reelected, what he's going to do with what's left of the environmental regulations in our country, or EPA. So
yes, if he's reelected, it's not just regulations. The Supreme Court will be packed with.
Oh yeah,
and those are lifetime positions.
Yeah.
I would say those are lifetime positions too. When you get in the Supreme Court, we'll be dealing with that for the next 30 years.
Kavanaugh is going to be in the Supreme Court for the rest of his life. Holy shit! Yeah. It's like a different world. How did this happen?
Well, I would guess that I can say a little bit about how it happened because it's what the creationists did.
Yeah.
So for a long time, the creationists focused on the grassroots. Just, school boards. Let's go pack the school boards. Let's pack the local judiciary. Let's pack up the city councils. Fill those with our people, and they're still doing that. And that's a powerful way to approach it. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say that honestly, communist Russia was a lot to blame too, because the godless commies. So that gave the Americans this push to
fight against terrorism?
to rise up with the religiosity. That's when we added, in God we trust on our money, and inserted that into the Pledge of Allegiance. That really gave the evangelical movement its push to because we had an enemy. We had somebody who was godless that they could point to and say, that's atheism over there. We worship God over here, and who would rise up and speak against that? Yeah. At that point in time.
And also, there's also the social attitude that, I suspect that the Red Scare also pushed us more extremely towards the old ideal of rugged individualism rather than working together as a community and cooperation.
Because that's socialism.
Yeah, I know. Just the fact that people think socialism is some bloody horror that's coming down the pike. It's not.
And anything that you don't like where people work together is just socialism anymore. It's just you offer.
Hear how they push it, because I have I take care of my elderly parents and they watch Fox News constantly, and they must say the radical leftist socialists like 1,000 times a day. They really drill it into your head that we are anarchists trying to tear this country apart. They really do. And it's insane because it's just not true.
Yeah. So those people did the potent thing of going for the grassroots and getting in at a low level, which allows them to dominate upper levels. But then also what you mentioned, media, they have been so good at dominating the media. Clear Channel, Rupert Murdoch, all that stuff.
Oh God, we were talking about Murdoch earlier today. He just has his hands everywhere. He really does, and it's scary. I blame him and Roger Ailes really for a big reason why Trump got elected. They pushed that shit. They wanted him in office.
Yes, we still have all these talk radio stations out here, which are just a toxin on the country. Rush Limbaugh and that kind of thing.
Alex Jones.
Getting the Congressional Medal of Honor for that, too.
That was gross. That was so gross. Like, nobody can ever be proud of getting that medal anymore after he got it.
No.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I'm not proud to be an American at this moment. I'm just not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will use that against us too, to say we're un-American. you know, I'm sure we share a lot of ideals
Hmm.
that are being, contra, 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 contradicted by the right wing right now. And um, I would love to love America again, but I can't
Yeah.
love a right wing America.
I don't think it makes us un-American when we look at a country that we're proud of and see it falling apart and are upset about it. We see what he's
And
done.
want to change it. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make us un-American. I think that makes us more American than them, who's able to just toss out what our country stands for and be greedy and do what they want. So that's
Yeah.
my
And that's what it is.
Bumper sticker patriotism.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's in this whole. That's what they sell is patriotism up front, but it's all about money on the back end. It's about oil lobby. It's about big pharma lobby. It's really built on that. The patriotism.
It's nationalism, and there's a big difference there.
Yeah,
and
that's true too. Yeah.
They say it's patriotism. That's all.
Well, it's hand in hand with the religion. It's God and country is the way that they're looking at it, or the way that it's being sold to them, and they're eating it up. But it's on the backside, it's the oil industry and pharmaceutical companies and lobbyists and
the big oil is the biggest lobbyist that we have, and they are fucking everything up really bad. And it's so heartbreaking to see that this kind of like in 2020, this rhetoric that climate change isn't real or climate change isn't man-made, when it's clearly been proven by countless scientists in my field, and we've tried very hard to just say, look, we need to change things. But to have people like the oil lobby push this rhetoric around to say, no, it's a lie, but and end up just polluting the earth, even if we were wrong, what's the harm in us saving the fucking planet? I don't get it. So sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that was always,
No.
and we talked about that in a show that we did together, a panel we did together a couple weeks ago about the inconvenient truth creating this kind of being like a net negative for the climate change awareness and moving to greener energy, because it put basically expiration dates on things and said this is going to happen by this date, and that's really not
really
a good approach.
Over with that one, he really did.
Yeah, which means that every time we succeed at something and push that date back, then the other side will see it as, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah. See, you said this was going to happen, then it didn't, so you're wrong, and it creates this confusion, So I don't know.
But if you look at the rest of the world, there are countries that are moving to a very, very green platform. China is really a lot greener than the U.S. At the very least. I know they've got with the floating islands of solar panels powering cities and stuff. It's quite impressive.
Italy has a lot of very innovative alternative energy technologies that are coming out, as does a lot of the Nordic countries. It's everybody else is participating and deciding, yes, this is a thing, we should do it. Everybody else is in the Paris Climate Accord. I think actually one or two might have left too, but most everybody else agrees that this is a problem. And I've said this a million times. Sorry that I took this to climate change, but I've said this a million times. We cannot solve this problem as individual countries. We need to do this globally. And the fact that America, the most powerful country in the world, supposedly the richest, not really, whatever, but most powerful, is scoffing at it and saying, fuck it, we don't care, we're just going to burn more fossil fuels. It's not good. It really isn't. So
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's all tied together. The same group of people that are pushing climate change is not real. They'll say evolution's not real. That vaccines don't work. It's not all of them necessarily will believe all of these things, but they kind of stick their hand in the bag and grab a handful of which fields of science that they're going to be in denial of, and just kind of run with it.